Crab cake.
Crab cake.
That's the way I'm going to start every Smothered podcast. Crab cake.
Driving down the highway, because I'm finally here with you.
Why did you sing that in a different key?
Driving down the highway.
Kind of.
Because I'm scared to drive down highways.
I've been showering with you since I don't know when.
It's totally natural. It's a mother's love. I tell you all the time, you're my only friend.
And I really love your lasagna.
Look at me now, will I ever learn? I don't know how, but when you suddenly lick my face,
You run away and I start to chase.
yes, it's strange, I want to sit in your bath.
Yes, it's strange that you're a sociopath.
Whoa, whoa, Mamma Mia, here we go again. Date night for 3, no it doesn't suck. Mamma Mia, I was low again. Thank you for paying for my tummy tuck. Yes, from that rose colonic.
And that commercial for Sonic.
Mom, I'll never let you go. Mamma Mia, here we go again. Date night for 3, no it doesn't suck.
We got a lot to talk about her. Yo, this is 90 Day Gays presents Smothered.
Smothered.
But they're smothered.
Once more again unto the breach. I just want to share something we did earlier today for our $5 Patreon members. We've been doing Labor of Love. You guys on Fox, it's a terrible show.
Terrible.
However, today we had 2 interviews that we did with Keith and then with Alan.
Y'all,
We talked about poetry with Alan, y'all. First, Keith was fantastic.
Keith was
He's
great.
lovely. He keeps it real. He's a fun interview.
He looked really hot.
Then we got to Alan, and then I decided...
No. Before we start, Poodle said, please don't flirt with Alan. Try to be professional. We can't get Me Too.
You flirted enough with Keith.
Maybe.
Anyway, but I did get on you. I'm like, please don't do it. And then when Alan came on the screen, y'all...
He was wearing
we could see his arms.
He was wearing a shirt cut
and his
off.
piercing blue eyes
like he
shone
just
at
worked
me.
off.
And then he started talking about poetry.
And he was sitting there with his legs crossed, kind of contemplatingly just looking at us, just...
And then I decided I would read one of his poems to him that he put on his Instagram. And y'all, it's not bad poetry. We all know bad Insta poetry.
It's good Insta poetry.
And I read it, and he's like,
Chrissy, you'd like it.
that was a very good reading. That actually made me tear up a little bit. And then I gooshed all over the couch.
Y'all,
Y'all,
that was Poodle.
it was everything I could do. And then he was saying he's going to do a whole thing with his naked poetry.
So he's doing his Instagram now. It's called
the Naked Poet underscore.
It's like
The
naked
underscore naked.
We'll put it in the show
underscore-
links.
Yeah.
But he's doing it because,
He's gonna
honestly,
be
he's
naked.
smart. He gets a gimmick. People are going to want to come and see him that he's hot, but he actually follows up with really moving poetry.
He's very good looking, and he's very intelligent, and he's empathetic. I'm telling you, y'all.
Poodle.
I'd sacrifice a child.
Poodle.
Tammy.
Poodles in love. Wonder when
that was
you
David
whisper
Reynolds'
when
Tammy.
that I'm dreaming of.
I don't know that song.
Poodle,
I know it's called Tammy.
Poodles in love.
I don't like the way you overdo the plosive on Poodle.
I'm going to do that. Well, good, because I'm going to do it as in Maddie's in love for the next cabaret. It can be a song to my dildo.
We've done enough of those.
We've done a
Old
lot
hat.
of songs to dildos.
That drink's not strong. I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, I can smell it.
Anyway,
y'all, we had to have a drink early in the day because Keith overstimulated me because he was hot. And then now
Alan, then I had to drink.
So we will say, if you're on the Patreon, so we decided to do something different because Labor of Love is normally for everyone at the $5 tier, but we felt like the guys wanted to share it to on their socials. So we're gonna make
this is on Patreon, so
Yeah, so just for our patrons, we're going to make the interview with Alan and Keith. You will get them if you're a normal Patreon, but we're going to make them public.
Yeah. So
but in the Patreon.
If you want to get somebody into this cult, that might be the way you do it.
Share that with them. Share that with. But don't worry. We also Keith goes more. Alan stays very not PC, but Keith goes in on Christy with us.
Her.
He goes in on her, and it's glorious. They both gave like an eye opening.
Keith keeps it real, like me.
Keith dropped some truth T-bombs.
Oh yeah,
that's made me rethink the show. I still hate it.
I had not rethought the show. I assumed everything he said that went on there.
No, but even you, like some of the things you were like, oh, I didn't. And then Alan talked about like the way they orchestrated the whole Keith and Alan food thing.
No, but I can completely believe it.
They did not talk about being in the room and just feeling a little lonely. Like they needed to reach over.
We did not get to the late night jerk off parties.
Although Alan did say that the jack off bus, they were just separated.
Had a rhythm to it.
He said they were just separated by a thin board, and it had a rhythm to it.
And you could hear them just whacking off to each other. You guys. Some of you are like, "What the fuck? I came here for smothered. I came here for really codependent, unhealthy mother-daughter relationships.
Not you two's dick dreams."
I know. So let's talk about smothered, y'all.
Woo!
Let's talk about this fucking garbage pit.
Let's start with Dawn and Cher, or as I like to call it, the segment where every mother in the world now hates Cher's mom.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, I hated her before this.
Well, I didn't love her. Y'all.
To be fair, she was an overbearing, pain porn loving hoverer. So I haven't been a fan of hers since I first saw her.
It's been 2 weeks since Cher had the baby.
Yes.
Almost had her on the street. So her mom is back. So Cher is trying to breastfeed, and it is very painful. And Cher says, all women say this to me, my friends that have had babies. And even when I talked about breastfeeding, how it's kind of like I think I said that breastfeeding, it's not like a single stream. It's like a sprinkler, a faucet. And so many women in our Sissy squad, there's several of them were like, oh my God, this was new information for me.
Yeah.
And I really feel like maybe there's this culture of women not talking about breastfeeding because Cher was like, this fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And no one told me this.
I think that it
is hard to do.
I think that especially with her, who else was going to tell her? I don't think she has many mom friends. I don't think Cher has a lot of mom friends.
Probably not.
So Dawn wasn't going to tell her at her. Dawn has selected members. She only remembers the best things.
You just get through it.
You just get through it. It's just pain. It's whatever.
It's whatever. Like, that's why you just focus on something.
Someone tied me up. Someone tied me to a fucking boulder and sent me down a hill, and I was fine. I smiled.
Because I love my daughter, and I wanted to be there for her. It's just like you gotta keep focused, like the way I delivered naturally.
Oh, no, it wasn't even said that way. I gave birth naturally. It was done in such a way.
She does these constant
digs. That was like a blow dart in her neck.
It was.
Like she savaged her daughter so bad in one word.
She did, and
quitter. She almost said quitter to her daughter.
She really did. And
she's a bad mom. I'm saying it now. Dawn is a bad mom.
I don't think she's a bad mom. I wouldn't say that. I would say because who else have we said is a bad mom on this show?
All of them. Except for Marsha. I'm kind of on team Marsha.
Yeah, she's kind of the only one. I don't think Dawn
Sarah's not a great mom either.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't think Dawn... I actually think Sarah's... Sarah and Lori are way...
Oh, sorry, you're right. Lori, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
I feel like Lori's way more dysfunctional than Dawn and Cher. Dawn and Cher we're seeing...
I just think Dawn makes it all about her all the time.
I don't think she's a... But I don't...
I think she's not a great mom.
This is like comparing rotten apples to rotten oranges. But...
And I kind of love... And I love Kathy... for whatever she does.
Yeah.
I love that kind of style.
I think Dawn is
She's in the middle of the pack, definitely.
You're right, though, that she makes it all about her. And the thing that I just want to say to moms, if you're out there, men too, but for moms, like working with your daughters or fathers working with sons, because there is this thing of like same-sex parents.
Competition.
There is this way Dawn does this thing of, well, when I did it, yeah, it was hard, but I just got over it. Well, I didn't have special pillows when I was breastfeeding. This is actually shaming your daughter. Yeah. And so if you're doing this, you're thinking that, I think Dawn would tell you, well, I'm just trying to tell her that I pushed through it and I did it. But you know what? Dawn is, the way like Cher said, she is 29 years removed from this. And we all know that the body naturally, from a survival instinct, will remember more positive attributes of things than negative. And so,
well, it's the hormones actually run through your body. Yeah,
Dawn probably doesn't even remember how hard this was for her.
I agree, and I think this is more insidious than you do.
I think it's insidious.
I think that she actually is in active competition with her daughter.
I would have said probably you're right until she got out the fake boob and started breastfeeding. And then I was like, honey, this is not your parade. You already walked yours.
Here's why. She needs to feel that she hasn't really ever gotten over the fact that Cher is grown up.
She hasn't.
And she, it's not just the fact
that
she is
vicariously trying to live through her. Yeah.
But it's more than that. She needs to feel like she is the teacher, she is the mother, she is the authority figure only.
As long as she needs
and it's not even
me.
I say it's not even a needing thing. She needs to be the one who's has higher esteem. But she needs to be the one she looks up to.
She needs that needed feeling, because I bet you 111% Dawn's self-esteem is in the gutter.
I believe that.
In the gutter. She wouldn't dress the way she does. She wouldn't do her makeup and hair the way she does. She wouldn't try to be so, like, quote-unquote, youthful if she felt comfortable in her own body who she is.
I don't think she knows who she is apart from her daughter.
Which is
apart from her being a mother.
That happened a lot in my small town.
Yeah.
Just because people would get married when they're young, and then they would have kids.
And you're a mom, and that's all you do.
It's something I've really talked to my brother and my sister-in-law about since their youngest just graduated high school, of like, what do you want to do? What do y'all like to do together? And thankfully, they both are really into that and have that. Yep. But a lot of parents...
Then you just wait for a grandchild.
I remember my parents, if their kids didn't come home from college to visit them, they would go visit their kids in college. And not like on a Parents' Day weekend, but like literally go and see and just spend time with their kids for the weekend, like once a month.
Wow.
So she
I would have just said, my mother would have shut up my apartment. I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Jaybird. First of all, my mother poodle would never do that.
No.
She would never want me to think that she was missing me.
Yeah, she would. See, your mother's opposite. She wants you to think that she doesn't care if you need her or not.
That's what she'd like to think. She knows she knows I do. Anyway, this whole segment was hard to watch.
Saying things to people like, oh, walk it off, mind over matter.
Oh, mind over matter.
These are not helpful things to say to someone when they're in the midst of breastfeeding, let alone any problem.
I want to talk about the phrase mind over matter and why this can be super triggering for people.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously means your mind can do anything. I want to talk about mind and really versus over matter, the body. Your body is much more intelligent than your brain and your mind.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In other words, your body will survive.
Yes.
Your mind will make you do something that's against your own survival because it's being by emotions. So throw out mind over matter, y'all. Yes, you can get things through like meditation. You can, I often say I've got a really strong will, but that's a survivor will that's probably somewhere in my body. Your body is much, much more intelligent than your brain.
Also, we know because... Y'all, if it was mind over matter, we'd be married to two women right now and be church organists. But I'm telling
That's
you,
the truth.
I
really wanted to be heterosexual.
Okay, all right.
In my mind, I saw myself as heterosexual, but my matter in my penis just said the opposite.
I was kissing on this girl Elizabeth's boobs, going, "You love this, you love this, you love this." And down there it was
my
saying,
matter said, no, girl.
Downstairs it was like, pick a little duck, a little chick, chick, chick. What a dick, what a little dick.
Carl. That's what your matter said.
My dick was a Carl. So anyway, y'all.
That's what we got to say about mind over matter.
It's not helpful.
So lactation consultant
Well,
Stephanie,
before that, I just want to say, where we see the
about it.
insidiousness of it is Dawn
Insidiousness.
cannot let go that Cher made an appointment
What's
with
it
the lactate.
gonna be? I can't pretend.
Because Dawn, yeah, exactly.
Don't let go. Don't let go. Y'all, In Vogue is amazing.
They are.
Get into that.
They are.
If you don't know In Vogue,
where are?
I think there's only 3 of them now.
I thought there was 3. Why did
there was always 4.
Oh, why did they always?
You know what?
lose
It was like a revolving door.
Same thing with Boys to Men. They lost 1.
Yeah. I think it can't. 4 is hard to sustain.
It is.
Yeah, I think you can do 5. 5 seems to
Odd
work.
number. Orgies are
4
like
is hard.
Orgies are like floral arrangements because Ina Garten says put 3, 5, 7 arrangements. It just has a better.
Even numbers don't work for
and
orgies.
the same thing for guys.
They do not.
Do not work. You want an odd number.
Yeah, 3 or 5, y'all.
That
4
way,
does not work.
You always have someone to film or cuckold you.
Or also someone who can bring you some fucking Gatorade.
And if you don't know what cuckold is, Google it.
You can look at cuckold porn. You Google that shit.
I'm not into it, but some people are.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all, Cher.
Why are you doing this right out in front of my salad?
Your salad. Y'all, Cher is not letting this go that she made an appointment. And this is where Poodle
Dawn's
said,
not letting it go.
Dawn and Poodle said, Cher came back at her and Dawn was
She
like, I am liking
clapped
Cher.
back.
She's
like, you know what? Why am I not going to tell you everything? Because she's the most important now, talking to her daughter.
And boy, Dawn knows that was like a knife.
Yep.
That was like that fucking spoiler alert. Game of Thrones, but like Jon Snow, Daenerys, burn it all down.
I will say, y'all, Cher is now realizing, now that she's a mom, she's like, your bullshit, like passive aggressiveness, doesn't kind of rains off of me now. Kind of just like water off a duck's back.
I don't think it all does, but
no,
I hope
but some
it
of
does.
it.
I think some more. I think her priorities are shifting. Dawn is just like, but I always ask me. That was gross. That was gross.
I mean, I know you probably. I've never had a good opinion of Dawn.
Oh no.
Pretty much all the moms except for Marsha and Kathy are garbage, y'all.
Kathy's on the fence.
She is. Well,
but
for certain reasons, yes.
No. I mean, because Kathy is.
I like Kathy.
I like her. I think she's fun. I think she's reality TV. I don't know how she is in real life. I think she's fun, but I also think Kathy.
I think she's just comedy.
I think she's comedy, but I also bet she's an instigator.
Oh yeah, she is.
You know what I mean? And like, I know they're doing other reality shows too, but I love Kathy. I will watch them.
Well,
I would watch that spinoff, but the last episode where she's kind of pitting her daughters together, I didn't love that. But I think that's for the reality show.
I would tell you that culturally, Italian families, I just know from my experience with Italian people, they'll have little fights like that, and that's their way of bonding.
Okay.
In some ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
You fucked enough Italian guys. I would know. You should know. Wow.
Those when the dick hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's some butt sex. Italian
on your
boys,
back,
y'all.
in your butt, flip him on his side. That's too much. That's the butt sex.
That's some butt sex.
You know, that was originally what they had the fountains at the Grove to. And then they changed it because some guy named Tom got upset.
Also, the original lyrics in Lady the Tramp.
Yeah.
Who knew that was coming when they were like sucking on that
spaghetti,
that piece of spaghetti, and it went, "That's some butt sex," and the Tramp went, what?
What? That's so much sex.
They're like, we got to change that.
Got to change that. Walt Disney was like, oh. Ooh.
Oh, wait. Sodomy's not really working here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
well, you're welcome. We ruined
that too.
I will ruin all you love.
Somebody's listening to Frank Sinatra going, fuck Jake.
Fuck.
Y'all, who will we not ruin for you is we love Stephanie. This lactation
lactation consultant is everything.
She's exactly what Cher needs because she's like, your body, whatever feels good.
She's like, whatever feels comfortable to you. And she's never heard that before because her mom's like, Cher, you should hold her like a football.
Hold football. Probably since the age she was little. Cher, why are you wearing that bra? Your boobs look now. Cher, why? Oh, God.
You're right. She's never heard the things Stephanie's told her before. I wouldn't be surprised if she just left Jared and began a relationship with Stephanie lactation consultant.
She's just like, fuck this. I love you. You let me be me.
You let me be me.
And then 2 years later, we cut to Cher. Her name now is Ruth, and she is a Ruthie.
And she's got an asymmetrical haircut.
Not a stitch of makeup on.
Nope.
Really baggy clothes, not even a bra. And she's wearing some Birkenstocks, and she's got like 3 kids just boob feeding.
Lots of face piercings. Yeah.
That's what we want
God
for you.
bless. That's what I want for you,
that
Cher.
sounds like a great life.
Not that I want you to be a lady-loving lady, but, if you were, I wouldn't hate that.
Wouldn't hate that.
Wouldn't hate that for you.
Anyway, Stephanie comes in, and she's like, she's helping him out, and she's trying to teach Cher how to do this, and Dawn is just like...
Rapid fire question. Wait, do you know about
We didn't have those special pillows. You don't need that. Why is she holding the boob? She's holding.
I mean...
Yeah. Stephanie handled this really well.
What if you were a woman and you were trying to breastfeed? What would your mother say to you?
This is so far removed from reality.
But your mother's a big breastfeeding
She's a
proponent.
big. My mother is a big breastfeeding advocate.
I wonder if she talked to your daughter-in-law about or your sister-in-law.
Oh, yes. My sister-in-law did breastfeed, but not for very long, as my mother thought she should have.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's been quite a point of contention.
Wow.
Well, she only breastfed for 4 weeks. Yep. We'll see how that goes. My babies don't have any allergies.
Jesus.
That used to be a Leche League.
That's not all.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not all.
That's the views. The views of Mother Poodle do not reflect the views of 90 Day Games. Definitely. I will say that.
We need to put that in the disclaimer for every episode now. Wow.
Anyway, you guys, so she's just trying to help. She's just trying to facilitate all this, and she's mostly paying attention to Cher, even though Dawn kept screaming at her like a grackle.
Yes.
And I wrote down, this is super helpful, what she's telling Cher.
Oh, God,
saying,
yeah.
Do it. There's you can do this. And so I hope that women who are starting, even though this show is garbage, just a slag pit, a burning coal field.
But watch this and go
watch this and say,
I can get a lactation consultant.
If I'm worried, if it scares me, I can listen to this, or I can choose not to do this. But there are ways to think about this that doesn't feel like I'm like a pig with a bunch of other
and
little
that you're
piglets
alone.
Yeah.
And I hope that insurance covers that.
I do not know.
I would hope so.
I will say, my friend who just had her second baby says, you know what they don't tell you about breastfeeding? That it's boring. She's like, I had to literally say, I got to find a way to watch television or something. She's like, it is so fucking boring. And everyone is like, I just enjoy spending time with my child. She's like, nope, boring.
That's hilarious.
So that you may find that breastfeeding is boring.
And that's okay. And you may find that, as we said many times, that breastfeeding is not right for you.
Yeah.
We've had some mothers that have gone through, I won't say their names because it's private information, but they've said things like, it took me so long to get pregnant and doing all this infertility shit, and when my baby's born, I just want my body back. And that's okay.
Yep.
That's okay,
yep.
too. You're,
Yep.
it's going to be fine. Anyway, As Stephanie says, trust your baby, trust your body.
Yeah. And
God bless
So
Stephanie.
basically, you guys, Dawn is like gets a fake boob and a fake baby and is trying to like learn all the positions so she can show her daughter later.
Because basically she needs to insert herself because then I can teach her.
Because she needs to be the respected one. She has to have the attention of being the teacher/mother. She has to be this authority figure. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like pathological.
Well, what it is,
It's like she's jerking off onto her daughter.
There's an insecurity, and there's something. Basically, there's something wrong with Dawn, and there's something either in her past or something that she doesn't want to deal with. She doesn't want to process, so she focuses just on her daughter.
Yeah, she doesn't
have to sit in her emotions.
She doesn't really have an identity separate from.
And that's a choice, because if I have an identity, that means I have to process how I feel and how I think, and I have to act on that, because an identity is how
you just
act.
dropped a truth bomb on Dawn.
And Dawn doesn't want to act on that. That's what it is.
That's I think you just nailed it.
Anyway.
Can we move on? I really hate them.
That's kind of the same for everybody, really, but anyway.
Can we move on to Brittany and Mary?
I watched the porn.
I promptly turned on the pornography and jerked off. There was ejaculate on the floor. Y'all, there's something about Frank that I completely understand. Someone said he kind of looked like, what was it? I can't remember it now. Oh fuck, I'm fucking this up.
Riveting.
You know what? I deserve that. I admit when I deserve it. You stare off into space and say garbage all the time, and so I will not take it from you. Anyway, so we're the next day, you guys, after Crab Cake Fest. After Crab Cake. After the Smothered and Covered Theater that I think was about, I blacked out at one point. It was like 38 minutes.
You know, the Emmys called us and told us we were nominated.
We were nominated for it.
You know,
it's an honor just to be nominated.
It's an honor, but give it to somebody else who needs it. We're fine.
We're fine. I don't need your accolades.
Yes.
I do.
We do. Anyway.
Y'all, find a way to get us nominated for the podcast Emmys.
There's actually, they call them, what are they called? It's like the podcast Oscars. They're just starting it. We won't get, it's all going to go to True Crime. It's done in conjunction with Wondery, so it's just going to be fucking,
fucked.
Yeah.
I personally think
is a bigger competitor to them.
I personally think that the first scene we did with number one, Frank, Brittany, Mary, the waiter, and that PA.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the chocolate martini was in there.
And then let's not even forget our first night at theater of the Foley with the colonics.
Oh.
And then if we talk to 90 Day, impromptu theater of Paul at Best Buy, Darcy and Stacy with the note, you know.
I'll just be honest. There really should be an awards for this because we put a lot of work into that.
Or a lot of alcohol.
Yeah. And the thing is, when it makes me laugh, I think it's funny regardless. When I'm laughing, it's going to be absurd.
That's what
I rarely. The thing is, I don't laugh unless something is funny. Like until it's funny to me. You won't hear me. You make me laugh.
And
you
we do. We make each other laugh.
Because
we love to laugh.
I'm. It's not that I'm hard to make laugh. Like something has to be very inappropriate.
You know, I used to not think of myself that way, but my boyfriend will even say to me, he's like, "I make jokes and you never laugh." And
you're like, because they're not funny.
It's just when you work in the space, it takes a lot. I think he's very funny though, but I'm not gonna be like.
I think too. Let it come naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah. Naturally.
Which is naturally. Which is something Mary doesn't do. Y'all, they're home from dinner. And first of all, Mary loves the royal blue color because she wears it all the time.
I don't know if it's like, I guess it's a royal blue. It's a little lighter than a royal blue. It's like a...
Whatever it is, she loves it.
It's like a blue ribbon blue.
Yes.
Like
Yes. Now I want to go to a
there's
fair and have a
something
corn
up there.
dog.
It's kind of
Or a funnel
kind
cake.
of burns my retinas.
By the way, Sonic needs to give us a percentage.
What the fuck?
We're going to have to go to Sonic.
We've talked about Sonic nonstop.
It's been a problem.
People have gotten Sonic in our
That yellow
Sissy
cake
squad.
batter shake.
That was the most country thing I've ever. You ate that yellow cake batter shake.
We should go tomorrow on Thursday.
Like Sling Blade.
You want to go on Thursday during the day?
You kind of remind me of Sling Blade sometimes.
I get that.
When your eyes go crazy for food.
That's not wrong.
French fried taters.
I'm getting my paleo dinner started on Saturday,
Oh,
so I
God.
want to eat everything
You know
inside.
what? You're gonna hate paleo. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I'm just...
Yeah, we'll see how paleo works for you for a while.
Y'all, I'm fatter than I've ever been. It's drastic measures.
You can do keto or low carb. It's a little better than paleo.
We'll
A
see.
little easier.
I don't know how I
Because
feel
you can
about...
eat fake sugars. I don't think you can eat fake sugars on paleo.
I don't know how I feel about keto, though.
I don't go full keto. I just do low carb. Because
Sorry.
I eat vegetables.
We're probably
We're gonna
triggering...
shut the
We're
fuck up.
triggering people with this conversation. Sorry if we triggered you.
It's okay to talk about different.
I know.
Diets
I
and
was
stuff.
just making a joke. But,
So you guys, we come in and we're
Brittany,
in
no-
Mary's house. First
Yeah.
of all, there are
What is this
fake
house?
statues.
there's like,
All,
of course,
like Roman statues
but then like,
that you bought at the
carpet,
swap meet.
and then this lazy boy sectional.
Oh, this recliner sectional, you guys. First of all, you know this is the heaviest fucking piece of furniture that's ever been lifted. Ever.
It's, you know, it's a lot how, though, people decorate homes back where I'm from. It's just kind of a mismatch.
I find, and this may be controversial, I find recliner sectionals hideous. I find them disgusting. Come at me. I'm sure a lot of you have them and have a lot to talk about them. I find them hideous. I find them uncouth. Hold on. I find them hideous and uncouth. That's a gavel I got today. Sectional recliners, they're a no for me. Oh, a good gavel really makes you feel like you really have some say in the world.
But you don't, Blanche. You don't. Anyway, Brittany, Mary says, Brittany knows everything now. And then Brittany's like,
This is okay. Having the truth heard for the first time kind of devastated me. I've never heard anyone pronounce devastated.
Devastated.
It really devastated me. Like, it was like sometime like she was implied statehood on. It really devastated me. Y'all, you can rewind it, look it up. She said devastated.
but then,
Something happens. Something happens in her synapses, y'all.
but then
I don't know
she
what
like
it is.
gives these truth bombs on Mary and
Oh.
kind of becomes the parent.
It was given by a PA.
Because
Again.
she's like, every relationship should be trust.
Trust. Hold on. What's that again? Respect and loyalty.
Communication. Put in communication, Brittany.
Um.
And then, and then Mary's like, I have a toxic relationship. What more should I tell you?
She did scream
I
that.
have a toxic relationship. I don't know if it's toxic or not. I think, again, the fact that he, on his bachelor party, had the porn, I don't know if that's toxic.
Brittany, you guys, though, is feeling really bad because she's like, when someone does something that despicable, it's like spiritual almost. What's that called? You know, when you feel it really deep inside you? And it makes you want to destroy them and break their back.
Brittany, think of ice cream, puppies.
I want to cut his brake line.
Puppies. A woman's lacy underwear. Calm down. Calm down, Brittany. Anyway, so then Brittany says, this kind of got deep. She says in her confessional, she's craving that love we all want. We all have that
She's not that love that we all want.
the voice in her heart.
That can just tell you should be with someone. And can also tell you if you want to rip out their throat. We all need that love. And that love is deep. And sometimes you have that love for, like, a jail inmate that you have taken to, that you've, like, been in percussive custody with. And she tells you you're pretty.
It's true.
Yeah, that went nowhere. It was a metaphor that went nowhere. It's like, little box inside yourself.
You. And that inmate, she wears bronzer that looks like your mother's.
It was this bad therapy talk that she probably went to in, like, at 13 years old. Let's see. It does. Brittany does say, if he does anything to hurt you, I will move him out.
She said,
I don't know how, unless you physically pick up his person.
Oh, she will. She totally will.
She's like,
she'll Hulk Brittany.
Frank.
Frank. Frank.
Frank, I'm going to pick you up now.
Oh, no. When she hulks out, it's just going to be, See, you do Brittany. I do Hulk Brittany. I think that's how we tap into these things. Brittany mad. Frank bad. The porn. And she just throws him out. Anyway.
So, you guys.
So, Mary, though, tells her that she's like, look, Brittany, if you love me, you'll just give me one more chance. Just give me one more chance.
Give him one more chance.
And give him one more chance. And I'll take this next step. But I need you, what'd she say? I need you to give him respect.
What did Frank do in, like, the last week that made him... Y'all, why is Frank on such thin ice? Is it still the porn?
I guess.
Did he like, human traffic? What happened?
I still go back to this. Is Frank gay, or is he just in the mob?
I think he might be in the mob. I think that's...
Because
supposedly her family has some mob connections.
There's something going on. He's too the way he is. And because he even says later, he's like, well, when God makes someone this way, it's just who they are. And I'm like...
Yeah, the whole I just don't understand what penance is he doing, and what has he been working to change? They never talk about that.
Because, like, is he going to sex therapy?
Does he actively watch porn 11 hours a day?
With, like, shock therapy to
help
fix it?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Anyway, so, yeah, and then Frank does tell Brittany, I was jealous of you. You know, it's, I want what you and your mother have.
Yeah. And this is what tells me that Frank's got some shit, y'all. You know, I haven't talked to my own flesh and blood daughter for 7 years.
And then Mary flips out. And like, oh my God, Frank!
And then because Frank says, basically he says, that's when he says, God made me a certain way, I'm not going to fight it anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So she does, supposedly, he texts her, and then she does text him back. We don't know if she said, is this my deadbeat father?
But I guess it was, like, amicable. And so then Mary immediately is like, I'm sorry, this makes me so happy. And then, in classic Mary style, she turns to Brittany and says, I'm just crying because if that ever happened with you and me, I don't know what I would do. I would be distraught.
She did say, Brittany, you are my everything.
You are my everything.
And just take for a moment, everyone, imagine what it'd be like to have to say Brittany was your everything. Take for a moment and just soak that in.
Wow.
Either what her estimation of what Brittany is, or can you imagine what it'd be like to have someone be your everything? The episode
I think I probably would start going to church myself.
Yeah. What was the episode of Love It or Lock It we saw that the girl had...
My everything, but so does big baby girl Lisa had that too.
Everything.
On her phone. My everything.
Boy, that's a red flag, y'all. Reddit's red flags.
Y'all.
Red.
It was Amber. Wasn't her name Amber? The blonde girl who had my everything when he would call?
I can't remember her name.
I should put my bitch for when you call.
I'm no one's bitch.
You're right. I'm going to put the bitch.
You can put the bitch. That's fine. I'm not. You don't own me. You never will.
You don't own me.
I'm not just one of your little toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't hang out with other boys.
Oh, take it, Pooh.
Don't tell me what to do.
And don't tell me what to say.
And when I go out with you,
Don't
put me on display. We're gay.
And we love to be gay. And we're bottoms. And we love to get fucked. So you don't know what's up. And this song doesn't end well.
No, it doesn't.
You don't own me.
You changed keys, but that's okay.
It had a key change.
No.
Is that the dog? Okay, just checking. Just checking.
Shall we move on to...
You know what? I think people are going to be really surprised when we have live shows. They don't realize that when we start singing, our arms start flailing.
Oh, there's a whole floor show.
I was just doing a back bend on the couch with my legs on the floor.
There's an Esther Williams style.
I mean, we go all in.
Anyone younger than 50, Esther Williams started some movies when she was in a pool and doing synchronized swimming.
65. 65 poodle.
Anyway.
Wow.
You know what? Learn your herstory, young'uns.
Learn your herstory.
Shall we move on to our favorite pair of interplanetary cocktail waitresses? Just off a shift at the black hole. Lando Calrissian just fucked one of them in the not the men's or the women's room, but the Gronk room. That's a whole other gender that they have there. The Gronk room.
Gronk.
Lando gave me the low soft one in the Gronk room.
In the Gronk room. Y'all, maybe we haven't seen season 1 yet, but soon he has a fiance, right?
Yes.
Boyfriend. Fiance Brett.
Who lives in Omaha, Nebraska.
So it's weird because they haven't talked for 2 weeks, but they never talk about what happened. Like there was no fight. There was nothing.
I was shocked that she possessed any human emotions, able to love another person besides her daughter.
You know, I was not shocked that even when Brett arrived at the airport, she didn't even smile.
No.
I've decided.
We have not seen her smile.
I think she read that article that if you smile, you get wrinkles, and I don't think she's chosen to do it.
I haven't seen her smile yet.
She is a really bitter, unhappy person.
She may be one of the worst people on television I've ever seen.
She's really horrid.
Yeah.
But not even like...
She's joyless, too.
Hate her and think that she's evil or bad.
No.
More of a like...
She's a black hole.
I have a deep...
Not the bar.
Yeah. Not Poodle's ass. I have a deep sadness for her because she is just sad.
That's a good way to put it because...
And she's just putting her sadness on other people through control.
And that's why I don't feel a lot of empathy for her.
I don't have empathy for her because she's an adult.
Yeah. I want to talk about the fact that... So he goes, they're having a long distance relationship. He gets in the car, and it's like they just talked this morning. They haven't seen each other in a while. No kiss.
It was really weird.
Then when they're driving, you guys, I want to point out this moment. There's some uncomfortableness. There was a scene there when Sunhee has her blinker on, and the blinker is going tick tock tick tock.
This was well done.
Tick. And you sit there, you feel every second pass.
It was just awkward.
And Sunhee almost tried to kill Brett with her mind. I was getting tense because of the blinker.
It was really uncomfortable. It was well done in the editing, though.
Yeah.
They barely said anything, and then they get home, and they're like, well, we'll see how this goes. But again, we never know anything of what happened, why they're upset.
I want to say that he's even doing a confessional at the end. He's like... You know, Sunhee, I did realize when I really think about it, I did realize that ... And for a minute, I was going to say I did realize that she would pop off my head and suck my guts out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I did realize he said that she is a necessity. But if she's not going to be part of my life, I'll move on.
Which, that was so unemotional sounding to him. It was just... something's got to be wrong with Brett, honestly, to date Soon-Hee.
Well, we find out he has a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Which is
means,
why he doesn't want to move to Las Vegas.
Which means she's probably... he's probably 60, I'm thinking.
Probably.
Yeah, which means the 13-year-old and the 16-year-old could have been from a second marriage because his first marriage was the one that didn't work. The second marriage is the one who he married a younger woman, probably.
Maybe.
And then, so soon he is the third.
Okay.
Maybe.
That was a deep dive.
Yeah, well, it's the 13-year-old and 16 and him being 60 gives off second marriage vibes to me.
Well, I think it's admirable that I think he's right. It's not the best time to move when your kids are 13 and 16.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah. So
they're going to dinner.
They're going to go to dinner.
Angelica, Jason, Soon-Hee, and Brett.
And I want to talk about something, and I've mentioned it before, but this ensemble that he was wearing, Jason, again, like David from 90 Days, is like a cast member in Peanuts.
It almost
the musical.
It reminds me
oversized
more of,
clothes.
What's his name? He had really bad sex and youth
Riveting.
youth minister.
Benjamin.
Benjamin wears big polo shirts. It's like they got it from Anthony's.
Yeah.
Come at me if you remembered Anthony's.
Is this in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
Anthony's was at Tiffany Plaza. But I think they had a chain because there was
Do
one in Ada,
you know how
too.
niche this is?
No, there was one in Lawton and there was one in Ada.
Who
Anthony.
the fuck cares?
People had Anthony's. So come at me if you remember Anthony's.
But I'm saying this is a really ridiculous come at me because that's literally about maybe 8 people.
No, I think there's more people.
Oh, no one gives a fuck about Anthony's.
Come at me and tag Poodle so he can see everyone.
Anyway, you guys, so they're there. Jason's in a polo shirt that's at least 4 sizes too big for him. What is? We find out, you guys, that Angelica actually, her mom said, "Can you listen on this call with Brett and myself?" That's normal for them, apparently. What a betrayal, you guys.
Jason didn't say it, but you know he's thinking, how many
did
calls
you do that for
has
me?
her mom listened into us?
Yep.
Because I guarantee you she has.
Yep. But, you guys, that's absolutely no boundaries.
But the deal, this
Zero.
is where we see the crazy. Angela is not a victim.
Angelica.
Angelica is not a victim. Maybe she was initially, but she's 32 years old. She's old enough to know better.
I decided in this episode, she's just as bad. Maybe not just
She's
as
not
bad.
just as bad,
but
it's like, the dog's barking.
No, that's
again.
the dog across the street.
Great. So many dogs.
That's the poorly behaved dog across the street that
God.
barks when anyone walks under its window. That's when I wanted to throw up some cold cuts with a little bit of rat poison.
A little bit of strychnine. But Angelica goes after Jason and says, "What? It's just I'm going to be there to support my mom and protect my mom, and that's just me showing my support to mom."
But there is a line which she doesn't understand is that someone else's privacy. Yes, it's your mom's privacy, but it's Brett's privacy.
Yeah.
The fact that you think you have any type of agency over his personal life.
That is Soon-Hee in a nutshell. No one is more important than her and her daughter. And she will step on anyone who gets in their way. Soon-Hee is a very selfish, horrible person.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And Angelica can't not get some of that.
Oh, God, I hate watching these two.
They're pretty. So
it's like watching some kind of someone audition to be a movie villain or a Bond villain. As I said before, it's like she's always auditioning to be in the next Too Fast, Too Furious movie. As the woman boss for some type of mafia.
So let's jump into this dinner a little bit. Basically, they're talking about this dinner, and they're talking about basically moving and why. But it doesn't really matter what they're talking about moving. Brett said he's not, but the relationship devolves into the core of this. Is Jason saying, "Look, bitch, I knew y'all were close, but I did not know it was this close." And then Brett it's kind of an agreement. And then Angelica and her mom get so defensive of, well, we were very upfront that we took baths together, that we were this. You knew what you were getting into. Y'all, no one knows what they're getting into with this. When people say they're close to their mother, this is not what they imagined.
No, this is definitely not normal.
And soon he gets this very well, you're just not the right guy for her. And basically throwing Jason under the bus and then saying shit like...
Even though he's done everything she's asked.
And she says, she won't ever approve that they get married. And I think Jason's realizing that.
Yeah.
He could fucking jump through fires, lick her vagina, have a 10-inch dick, and then sing the Star Spangled Banner out his butthole. And she would say, not enough.
Lower key.
Lower key. Exactly.
I wanna talk about how Angelica basically tells Brett, "Why can't you move here?" So, because it was implied that Sun-Hee is in Las Vegas because Angelica's life is in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Or his career. So he's basically saying, you could come with me to live in Omaha because I have a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old. And Angelica basically says, they're old enough.
It was horrible.
That's some shit, y'all.
It was horrible.
That's some shit.
Can you imagine her as a stepmother?
No. Can y'all, if someone you're dating, or God forbid, some child of someone you're dating says, "Why can't you come out here?" 13-year-old and 16-year-old, they're fine. Know that person is missing something. There's some kind of empathy chip missing, because a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old need their parent.
They do.
They're not to that. They're not adults yet, especially your 13-year-old. Even your 16-year-old, that's a really tough time, you guys.
Honestly, that's when my parents got divorced and my father moved out. And
that's why you're damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always knew you were, but
no, I mean, that was a very formidable time. But for me, life was fine up to that. So whereas Poodle had constant judgment and crumbling from the age of 5.
And my parents are together, and that's the problem.
He never got away from it.
No.
That's why Poodle's damaged.
Yes.
If Poodle's parents got divorced, he would be the most relaxed, unanxious person ever.
My brother and I would tell my parents, "Why don't you get divorced?" We would do that all the time.
But then you'd have to live with your mother without your dad.
Ooh, we didn't really think that through. You need both of them to find some kind of, like Scylla and Charybdis. There's a place between the monster and the whirlpool.
Maybe you could go to your Aunt Kathy.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Anyway, nothing really happened. We just find out that Sun-Hee Angela wanted Brett to make Sun-Hee his number one priority, not the kids, even though
she doesn't.
Angelica is exactly.
Yeah. That's how horrible of a human being she is.
Yeah, they don't really get it. They don't get it. I hate these two.
I do too. What is it? I have to look. What is this?
No.
And here's one of my songs, Tornado.
What?
Everybody seems okay on the outside, but I feel so broken on the inside. When I'm falling from the sky, all I could do is cry for you. Drowning these tears, I'm building up a wall of fears. Drowning these tears, I'm building up a wall of fears. Tornado, I'm torn, I'm torn, I'm torn apart into art. Tornado.
That is Elena.
I know.
That's her newest single that just dropped. I just surprised Poodle. Tornado.
And I don't know if you guys realize, but she's using the play on words of tornado. My life is torn apart.
I'm torn. You're torn. So we're
tornadoes. Yeah, I'll have to process that later.
I'm so glad you didn't know that. I've been saving that for 3 days.
I'm sitting here like this. I'm listening to it and going, Y'all, it's that look. I'm telling you, I've said this before. It's that look. Lately, TLC has been like this for me. It's like when you're watching Faces of Death, those movies, and you're thinking, what's going to happen in this scene? What's going to happen? Whose head's going to get cut off?
She doesn't have a horrible voice. She just needs singing lessons.
But you're waiting for the gruesome. You're waiting for it because it's going to be disastrous.
Let's jump into Marsha, and I always say Elena.
Right. Elena, sorry.
Elena.
Like Anna.
Jay Leno. And
yeah,
I
Jay
gotta remember that. I gotta remember Leno.
So they are mid-chase. Lena's chasing
Chase
Marsha
in the
as
morning.
their normal ritual goes. Everyone does that. And then she...
kisses her.
Yeah. So then they're like, what are we going to do today? And she's
Elena,
like doing
we're
that.
going driving.
We're going driving, Elena.
And she's like,
No.
Yeah, her little scratchy voice.
I don't want to, Mom. I don't want to.
So, you guys, everyone's aware this is not about driving, right? This is not about Elena just being afraid of driving.
She is
Just so we're clear.
terrified when she gets behind the wheel. Like her eyes.
I know.
I felt for her. Her eyes were huge.
But I'm saying driving represents a life without her mother.
Yep.
But I understand, and I remember what it was like.
But the thing is, again, this is what we said this before. You can tell they've had the most therapy of anybody on this show.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Because they both know why. Elena even said it. She was like, I feel like I'm leaving my mother. It's a step I don't want to take. They both know what the emotions are under them. But the way they go about handling this is not the best way.
No, and you guys, they're going to go driving, so they've got on their, what I would call their driving clothes, which apparently are toboggans.
Well, and they do a little driving music before they start.
Do. And it is, driving on the highway, I'm finally going my way, driving on the highway.
Because I'm finally here with you. Don't
And
look
strangely,
back, 'cause I don't want to
turn back. Don't look back, because I don't want to turn back. Don't look back, because I don't want to turn back.
Don't look back, because I'm never
That
going
little
back.
is not something we understand, and that is something whoever helped her put that song together just put that in because she didn't know what else to do.
I'm going back.
So I wrote down, this is so meta. They're literally driving on the
It's
highway.
like I said last week, she hates driving on the highway, but she really is.
So you guys, I just want to say, I learned to drive with Mother Poodle with me.
I was going to bring this up too.
And I would tell anyone, if you're going to teach your kid to drive, I would say rethink that.
So at first I wanted to feel bad for Elena, but then I was like, honey, this is just a rite of passage. As we have all been yelled by our parents.
This happens.
Although
my mother screamed, still to this day, my mother presses an imaginary brake when she's driving with me.
No, it wasn't my mother that taught me. It was my dad.
Oh, my father.
Arthur, you wouldn't know a goddamn brake pedal if it got shoved up your ass. God damn it. Get away from that car, son. Because my father, to this day, even when he comes to L.A., drives his fucking huge Chevy Avalanche 40 miles an hour. I don't care if we're on the goddamn 405. We might go 45.
That's really? Oh, my parents both have lead feet. They're fast. They drive.
Yeah, no shit. I've been in a car with you. Y'all, Poodle's
I drive fast too.
He's a crazy driver too.
You know what? I'm a defensive driver.
You drive too close.
Close.
You got close. I get scared.
Close how?
Like someone's gonna slam on the brakes, and then when you're gonna
You know what though? I'm aggressive.
You are aggressive,
but I'm not. I'm defensive as well.
No.
You.
I didn't say you're a bad driver. I'm just saying that something's scary.
5 seconds to go at a traffic light, you guys.
Because what if somebody's running the yellow light and then you're hit?
We seriously sit this. I can't tell you how many times people have blown their horns with him because he won't go.
One time that happened.
No, so many.
Oh yeah,
so many times.
So many.
Y'all,
anyway. We're gonna do a road trip show.
Oh,
and we might not come back from it.
I hate when you drive.
Same.
So you guys, she's been driving. Marsha's been driving Elena 90 minutes.
Oh wait, no, I didn't finish the story. What was it like driving with Mother Poodle?
Kind of like a lot of shouting.
Oh.
A lot of slow down. Slow down. What are you doing? Jacob. Lots of... Okay, stop here. Stop here. Stop! Stop!
And y'all, that's just the way it is driving with your parents.
Yeah.
That's why it's probably better get your kid a driving if they're a sensitive, get them a driving teacher.
It's like putting the parent and child relationship into a centrifuge.
It is.
And just
That's a great way to describe it.
And making it 10 times worse by putting a stressful thing. You're also... It's a reminder that you're growing up, so they're already stressed.
And honestly, what is different about this, normally you're excited to drive because you're excited to leave the nest and get out of the nest, and it's usually the parent who's feeling like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. Where with Elena, she is desperately not wanting to do this at all.
Y'all, let them do driver's ed.
Let them do.
Or if they have like an older cousin or an aunt...
You know who ended up helping me? My grandpa. My dad and I fought so much, and then my grandpa took me. My grandpa taught me how to drive.
My uncle helped me a lot.
Yeah, and my grandpa did it.
We went out to a field, and I learned parallel parking. To this day, I still say I can go in reverse better than I can go forward because he taught me that.
And he can drive backward better than he can go forward.
Beep, beep, beep. I lead with my back end.
There you come. But this actually made me happy seeing, because it was just... a normal
It was a very normal
child thing. Then we don't really get that on this show.
It was normal until you started to see Elena's emotional intelligence of not being able to handle her mother yell at her.
And I get it, your mom's yelling, but her mother's not like being abusive to her.
No.
But the fact that I'm like, where does this come from her? Where she's like, you're mean to me. Like she shuts down. Like she can't take, and you can tell that Elena doesn't want anything wrong in life.
She doesn't have
wants everything to be good.
She has no thickness of skin at all.
But again, she writes these songs. Again, driving down the highways, I'm not going to look back. I'm leaving behind.
You know,
There's this song about tornado.
All that's idealized in her head.
Yeah,
it's not real.
True. It's not real.
Yeah, that is her actual problem. I don't know why I said actual.
I don't, because their accents are in your head.
Yeah, that her problem is because she lives an idealized life, you guys. She's not really in her life.
And God, I just love Marcia, where she's
I
like,
really love her.
She's like, I hate losing my temper, but I need to push her, and then she gets emotional. I have to do it.
Best mom on the show.
Best mom on the show.
Best mom on the show.
Maybe you shouldn't lick your kids.
Don't know if that's a lot of competition, but when you're with someone
like a Heisman you're getting.
Yeah.
Did I just say a sports trophy?
You did, and I'm not here for it.
What's happening?
Anyway, so she's losing it because you're being mean, and again, I wrote down again. This is not about driving.
No,
this is about Elena having to grow up, and because when you're a grown up, you have to figure out who you are instead of being your mother's idea of who you are.
Thank God for that. I love my mom, but thank God for that.
But Elena's or Marcia's idea of who Elena is great because Marcia's a very supportive parent.
Yeah, it's, and maybe y'all come at us. Maybe you've had similar things like this. I imagine for Jake and I, it's easier and was easier for us to do this because nobody in our family was flamboyantly gay. So when you know you're so different, it's very easy for you to conceptualize your life apart from that person.
Very much so.
You already feel different.
I knew I'd never be in Pickens, South Carolina.
I knew that
my whole
too.
life.
And I knew I was close to my mother, but I knew I never would be
Close.
like her. I would never do.
Yeah, unhealthily close.
So I wonder if where's that mirror for you to look at? But I'm interested to hearing from our sissies that are close to their parents that maybe weren't gay and lesbian or were straight. Like if I don't know.
Was it hard breaking out from?
Was it hard breaking up?
Yeah,
breaking out.
Was it hard being your own person, learning to be your own person?
Because I think it was hard to see your parents as adults. That was harder for me.
I think. I think I was actually age 8 or 9 when I said my parents are very imperfect, and I think I know more than they do.
You saw again. That's where the damage began.
But no, I had a lot of perspective about my life. Even then, I knew I was I read my journal entries and things that are written, I even say, was I dropped here by an alien ship?
I felt like that too. And I actually wonder if Elena feels that way. And I wonder if, going back to, I'm just curious to see how much socialization she's done with other little people.
I guarantee you it's next to nothing.
And I think some of those feelings might be resolved if she had that.
Supposedly we find out, y'all, she ain't no virgin.
I want to tease you.
I don't want to hear the details of this.
I want to please you. Because I'm driving down the highway in your vagina. Anyway.
Don't turn back because I don't want to turn back.
Because I don't do butt play. I think that's all I got.
The show.
Y'all, that is the show. Smothered.
Fucking Smothered.
We didn't have a Smothered and Covered Theater. But you know what, y'all? We gave everything last episode. So you're fine.
This was kind of a filler-in episode.
I think next episode's going to be good.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about Brittany's secret. We don't know what it is.
My theory, and people who went for this, some say it's that she's not a virgin, and mine is that she didn't actually finish the Corrective Academy.
That would be amazing.
Correction Academy. I don't know why, because that's her big accomplishment, and that's what we've been touting.
What if
it would be it'd be funny to do that.
What if it's that she's had a boyfriend all along?
But would he not have been there at the...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I just have this feeling that she flunked out of the Correctional Academy.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Because, y'all, that's so Brittany.
That's so Brittany. Mm-hmm. Y'all, that's the show. Thank y'all so much for this. You can go to 90daygaze.com and find all of our other stuff.
And I am constantly amazed by the people who say to me, I know you hate the show, but I love the podcast, or I love Smothered. So,
y'all,
different strokes for different folks. You're all sickies.
So that's what we're doing for you. But we appreciate our patrons so much. Y'all, I know that y'all pay for this, and we appreciate that. But honestly, y'all give so much to us just for
and just even the comments that we see on our Patreon,
your Sissy shout outs that we're really having fun doing that, and our Sissy Spotlight.
Yeah.
So anyway, y'all, we appreciate you so much.
We do.
And I know
you're the wind beneath our wings.
It's true.
You really are.
Stuff's ramping up for some people right now in parts of the world again. That's okay. We're
not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere because, well,
we're not.
We're not.
Because California locked down again.
Locked out again. All right, y'all.
That's the show.
Remember, show someone you love.
Lick their face.
Lick their face.